Hello my witches, baby witches out there, or whoever is connecting to this video. I'm Aurelia the Witch, and in this video I want to teach you guys how to do a spell in order to see visions. This spell will instantly awaken your third eye and will help you connect with your higher self, with your spirit guides and angels, or having any visions that you are asking for. Now obviously this spell is good for advanced practitioner as well as beginners, and it's not really that difficult to do, but it's actually rooted in the ancient tradition of scrying and fire gazing. Think about this. I even explained it in my video entitled Scrying. Even Nostradamus used to use this technique to see visions and therefore awaken his third eye. This technique is very powerful but easy at the same time. So let's get started. What you will need first of all is to cleanse your environment. I can make a separate video about cleansing your space, and I also made a video on my Patreon for those who want to join. The link is down below. You can basically pretty much clean your space with salt, or by drawing the circle if you are a Wicca, or if you're already familiar with witchcraft at large, or you can do it with sage like I am doing, and incense. I don't know if you guys can see it. I put in my skull the sage, and this is how I usually clean my environment. Why the skull? Skulls have been used through century in many witchcraft tradition in order to scare negative spirit and lower energies. So I know they look a little bit scary, but actually they do scare away very bad energies, and that's why I love them so much in my practices. But you can also use something as easy as incense. This is just a tip because I think that before you perform any spell, it's very important to cleanse your energetic space. So you can also do a bath or just use any cleansing technique that you're used to. Now that we are ready for the spell, the actual items that you will need for the spells are the following, and I'm reading directly from my Book of Shadows. First of all, you will need a book of shadow if you have one, or taking some notes, a piece of paper, or if you are more on the technological side, you can even take notes with your iPad, with your tablet, with your phone, whatever feels comfortable for you. Then you will need an indigo or purple candle. Usually I like to use these very small candles like this, so they burn pretty quickly. And since I don't have a holder, I am going to use a black plate in order to hold it in this way. But obviously if you have a candle holder, that will be a lot better. So essentially you need a piece of paper and a purple or indigo candle. Why the color indigo and purple? Because these are the colors in order to access the higher realm, spirit guides and angels. They symbolize your crown chakra, and therefore the chakra that you utilize usually to connect to the higher realms. If you want to know more about candles correspondences, again, I made a video on my Patreon. Then also what you will need are these following items, and you can choose depending on what you are feeling more comfortable with. Essentially, the ancient way to perform this spell is to use a black mirror. Now, black mirrors can be found in esoteric shops, or you can literally use your phone has a black mirror if you just switch it off. Or for instance, even your TV is a black mirror. But if you're a little bit more fancy like I am, and I prefer to be because I don't really like to use my phone even if it's switch it off, and I don't use any more smartphones that often, I am using a crystal ball with black obsidian. This is perfect to use for this spell, or even if you have a smaller black obsidian or black tourmaline, that is what you can use for this technique. If you don't have anything at home like this, and you don't want to use a phone or your TV for instance, or you are on a tight budget, don't worry about it. You can perform the spell anyway. What you will need is a glass of water like this. And if you want to be a little bit more fancy with the spell, you can add essential oil to the water or dry herbs. I'm going to show you this particular technique with water later on in the video. Then also what you will need to keep it very basic, it's a lapis lazuli crystal. Now you can perform this spell even without the crystal ball and just with a candle, but obviously if you are going to be helped with a crystal like lapis lazuli, you are going to instantly open your third eye. So obviously I've tailor-made this spell for people who want an instant effect. But obviously if you are a little bit more patient, you can also work only with the candle. That will depend on your preferences and will depend on your budget as well. So now that we have all the following items, if you want to even do a step further, what you can use for this spell, it's a ring bell like this one, or also one of these balls that contain the sound of the third eye. I found them amazing personally, so I want to include them in my spell. Now that we have everything, essentially what we are going to do, it's a very powerful meditative technique in order to access our higher self as well as our subconscious mind. This spell can be repeated up to 3 times, but I wouldn't exaggerate with it because it can be very, very powerful. And in fact, after the spell, I highly suggest you to practice grounding or any grounding technique or meditation that you know. If you want a video about grounding techniques, please let me know in the comment section down below. But now let's get started with the spell. So let's take the candle right here in front of us. One candle, it's more than sufficient. Now, let's take the lapis lazuli on our left end. You can even put it on the right. I do prefer the left end. For some reason, intuitionally, I feel that charges me through the stone better. Again, it's a matter of preference. And you want, before starting the spell, to invite in your angels and spirit guides, as well as the elementals, especially if you are a beginner or advanced witch. So you can recite this in any possible way. Essentially is a prayer and is an invitation to the higher forces. Higher forces, Mother, Father, God, please be with me during this spell. Let me be protected from any lower energies or lower entities. Let me access the truth that is within my consciousness. I call in forth my spirit guides and angels and all the 12 archangels, as well as the 4 cardinal points, earth, air, fire, and water. Let me see through my mind, through my third eye, the visions that I am meant to see. Let me connect with my higher self so I can receive only voices and visions of truth and light and connect it to my higher self. So it be, so it be, so it be, and so will be. Okay, this is something that I say. Obviously, you can say it in your own personal way. I most of the time recite it in my own native language. So again, choose your own words wisely. But every time that you recite in a prayer, keep it concise and keep it very direct and very simple. Because remember, what you're asking for is what you get. So you want to be specific, straightforward, and simple. This is a little tip that I can give you as a witch. Now, what you want to do is, of course, lighting your purple candle like such. And I am going to obviously fix the candle to the plate so it doesn't fall and I don't have to worry about it. It looks like a birthday cake in it, but we're performing a spell. So now we have to go inside our mind and really becoming still. Now, obviously, if you are a beginner, this is gonna take a little bit of time, so be patient with yourself. It is okay. Witchcraft and energy work and even meditation, it's about practice. You're not doing this for relaxation. You're doing this, you're putting an effort, a conscious effort to enter your subconscious mind, and through your subconscious subconscious mind, you will see visions directly from your higher self and from the spirit world. So this takes a lot of energy. Make sure you're rested. Meditation, and especially this sort of techniques, are not about relaxation. They are about energy work. They're very different topics. Now, you want to really be still within your own mind. What does it mean to be still with your mind? It means that you're not trying to control your thoughts. You cannot control your thoughts in actuality. Your brain is spinning on its own. You're not really controlling anything inside your mind, but you can observe. You can become that still observer inside of you. So what I want you to do, guys, you have to, now that you are connected and you have called in your spirit guides and angels, I want you to connect with your mind and observe your thoughts while you're looking at the candle. You can even observe your breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And there you go. You observe your thoughts while you're breathing and focusing on your breath. Now, the more you are becoming one with the candle by looking at its flame, the more I want you guys not to blink, but only to gaze at the candle as much as you can. Now, obviously, in order to help you out with this technique, you can even use a bell to start while you're calling the angels. Or like I was saying before, you can use one of these instruments in order to open and help you out opening your third eye. So you play the instrument, you play the ball while you're staring at the candle. The goal is to become one in your mind, to reach absolute stillness. And obviously it's gonna take a while. Now, I'm not performing the spell in and of itself. I'm just showing it to you guys, but you really have to become the flame. Your mind has to be so still. And so it's almost like your energy from your third eye, it's going towards the flame and it's connecting with you, and you are becoming one with the flame, right? It's gonna take a while. So we cannot do it over here on YouTube, but follow me through. Now, the more you're gazing at the candle, most likely the image of the candle itself, it's going to become a bit blurry. And if you are opening your third eye, you should be able to see the aura of the candle, colors perhaps around the candles, as well as its energy moving. This is exactly the point where you want to be at on this spell. Don't be scared. Don't judge anything that you're seeing. Just be a witness of what you're seeing. When you're gazing by and not blinking, when it's becoming like your eyes are sore, you're starting to cry, that is the perfect time to shift the focus from the candle to our crystal ball, the water bowl, or anything that you're using, okay? You are going to go from the stillness of the candle with your eyes being with all blurry. You see the energy of the candle from the crystal ball. You can even place your hand over the crystal ball, and you are just going to be open. Let go of everything. Let go of your eyes. Let them tears if they have to tear. Let them go. Let go of your thoughts. You are inside the crystal ball. With your mind, you are inside of a different dimension. Your third eye, it's getting open. In fact, you could also see something already, like an energy outside of you showing the third eye, like the flame itself is a representative of your third eye. You can see a reflection of that. And now that you're focusing on the black screen, the black mirror, like we were saying before, what do you see? This is all that you gotta do, without judgment or without anything. Look at the ball, lose yourself inside the crystal ball, inside this meditation. Let the images become blurry if they have to, and tell me, what do you see? Don't judge anything, just see. Your third eye, it's getting opened in this way, I promise you. And even if you have to repeat it a couple of times, it will work out. Then the piece of paper and the book of shadows are essential. Since you're only becoming the observer of your mind, of your higher, you're communicating also with your higher self with this technique and this spell, and you're losing yourself in the images that you're seeing, you cannot immediately recollect them, everything, and write them down. Just witness them. And then later on, write them down on a piece of paper again without judging them. And that is the spell. Observe what you have seen. The more you're going to practice this sort of meditation and this sort of spell, the more your third eye will remain open. And in fact, you have to be ready for this, because most likely what is going to happen is that this technique is also going to activate your visions through your dreams, especially for those of you guys who are already familiar or perhaps are already psychic or have natural psychic abilities. You will see that through your dream state, you are going to be able to see much more vividly your visions. And that's why writing them down in a journal or in your book of shadows or in a piece of paper is essential in order to reflect and meditate upon them. Because most of the time what happens where you're asking for visions from the spirit world, they are coming in not necessarily a very coherent way. They might be just symbols, signs, your spirit animal appearing. They're like synchronicities. So you want to write them down and see through the days whether or not they are in correspondence with what you have asked for or what is happening in your reality. And this also will train you to interpret the dream world and to interpret your visions and to become more proficient in your mediumship, channeling abilities, and psychic abilities. Now, talking about the method with the water, it's very, very similar, because all you gotta do, it's the same. Performing the spell by looking at the candle, playing the sound, like we were saying before, if you wanna be a little bit fancier. And especially playing the sound is potentially something for more advanced practitioner, because you have to play while you're gazing at the candle. So if that is too complicated, just put it away for a second. Don't do it as a beginner. Just focus on the candle and what were my instructions at the beginning. And then what you gotta do, you're gonna do the same thing with the water instead of the crystal ball. Now, many witches or many energy work alchemist practitioner, they like to put essential oils. Personally, I really love lavender essential oil, because lavender is obviously associated with the crown chakra being purple, and especially lavender is used also in purifying spell, cleansing spells, and protection spells. So as a beginner, lavender is a perfect essential oil in my opinion. You can use this little one and drop it a little bit. Of course, check with your doctor if you are allergic to essential oils, because you don't want to drink it and you don't want to mess around with something that you are allergic to. Or perhaps you can use dry herbs. And for example, I'm going to put a little bit of lavender all over the water, and you can start seeing vision and working with the water exactly like we did with the crystal ball. And obviously this sort of technique will resonate a lot for people who feel a close bond with the element of water. Not even mentioning that water is perfect also for manifestations as well as visions. In fact, I made a video about it where I teach you my technique to manifest with water in my 3 easy steps for manifestations that you can find also on my Patreon. So you will do the same. You will look at the water, lose yourself inside the water, and start seeing visions. Now, this technique, believe it or not, is the actual technique that Nostradamus used to use. He used to use water, but rather than have it in a glass like this one, he used to have it in a black bowl. Of course, if you can purchase or have a black bowl, a black jar to keep the water inside, that will be perfect, because black being the absence of color, it's perfect when it comes down to spell or to see visions and opening the third eye. Not even mentioning that black, it's not associated as a correspondence to the black arts, so to black magic, for instance, but it is associated with protection spells and spells that actually remove any any negativity. That's why in New Age or witchcraft or people that are connected to crystals, most often they use, you know, black crystals like tourmaline or black obsidian for protecting their energy field. So don't be scared of the color black. So this is the spell. I think this is a very powerful spell, and it will instantly activate your third eye. Now, I want to perform at the end of this video. So right now, for those of you who want to perform the spell with me, a bit of a meditation. So for instance, if you want to try it out with me while I play the ball, we can stare together at the candle and we can transfer the energy together, especially if you guys are beginners, and we can try to perform it while I'm playing. So for example, you can watch it with me and see step by step what happens. Now, of course, I'm gonna keep it quite short because we are here on YouTube, but if that helps you out, why not? So I'm gonna repeat again. We're gonna take our lapis lazuli and hold it while we already called in our angels and spirit guides. I'm gonna do it again and perform it with you guys. I'm gonna call in forth the energy of Mother and Father Goddess, the Goddess, the Goddess, and the God. I'm gonna call in my 12 archangels. Archangel Michael, protect me with your blue protective shield light. Archangel Ariel, give me the strength. I'm calling forth the spirits of my ancestors, my spirit guides and angels. Let me be protected and be connected only with my third eye to the energies of the higher consciousness in the spirit world as well as my higher self. Nothing can harm me, and I'm coming with perfect love and perfect trust. I only want words and visions of truth, love, and enlightenment. So it be, so it be, so it be, and so shall be. And then I already started to see some visions, and what would I do if I would do it alone? I will write it down on my book of shadows. Now, obviously, it's very, very quick. I could stay hours doing this and just writing down what I am seeing. And sometimes, because I'm more trained, I use this technique without the flame, just by looking at the crystal ball when I'm doing my, you know, pick a cards or channeled messages here on YouTube. And I find that when you do this, you are much more pure and you are truly connected with the higher realms, and you can see vivid visions, like they're just popping up in your mind. Now, practice this and let me know in the comment section down below, as well as if you want to see more videos like this or this sort of spell, if you want to see grounding work and more advanced techniques as well. Also, what I wanted to add is that you can perform this spell in a black room only with the light of the candle, because that will help you out connecting into a meditative state. Now, this is all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this little spell on how to see deep visions and instantly awaken your third eye. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts and your practices, and whether or not you want to see more videos like this, as well as grounding work perhaps. Join my Patreon for extra content, and subscribe and ring bell on to always get notified about new videos that I post on this channel, and also subscribe to participate on my giveaway. The link is down below, and I see you guys very soon in one of my new videos. Bye. Okay, now I have to record